Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 2 versus 2 on Poltava. Versus the north, you got Redforce, and I know we'll just call him Tommy, fighting here for the Commonwealth and America. Forming up here with the combined task force made up from elements of the 3rd Armoured Division and the British 7th Armoured. Versus the south, you got Oblivion and Dreamwork, fighting for Germany. Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 21st Panzer Division, and we got here heavy cavalry, airborne, mechanized, mobile assault, royal artillery, and vanguard versus Luftwaffe, fortifications, spec ops, joint operations, Jaeger armor, and spearhead, with a mixture of mostly infantry and a tank, and then suddenly Sturmpanzer and machine gun bulletins there for Dreamwork, standing out a bit there on his own. Double grenadier start there for Dreamwork, double focus start for Oblivion. A lot of sections there for Tommy, and for Redforce double infantry. I mean, pretty much all sort of heading down the same direction there. Both sort of, well, the Germans seem to slightly more focused on the centre of the map, whereas the Allies seem more intent on sort of going for the fuel. Of course, Oblivion is focusing on the western fuel, but Dreamwork seems less immediately concerned with that, more about taking control of the central village here, or at least southern part of the village, to that way set up for some future defences there. Also, no incalls, no doctrines chosen in immediate moments of the game. We got another MD42 on the way there for Dreamwork. We're starting with several machine gun bullets. Imagining at some point we'll go for at least 1 or 2 of them. Rifleman moving in there, swinging in there. Can he get into the house before the riflemen do? And then he's going to still need some support here for the grenadiers, but they should at least be able to hold off for some moments down till reinforcement can arrive. Samek being laid down here around the munitions there. Grenadiers support moving in. Rather than getting in a lot of damage on the grenadiers, already left down to the half health. But there you go, grenadiers moving in. You should probably support with the pioneers as well as possible. But there you go, rather than not being caught in a bit more of a crossfire here. But even then, they're laying down a dangerous amount of firepower. The grenadiers will not be able to last for much longer here. And he will have to retreat them pretty soon, unless he wants to risk a wipe here, which I don't think will be worth it, even no matter how much damage you can do on the rifle. There you go. Wipe here and there. Early again, quite a loss there for Dreamwork, quite a winner for the Americans. In particular, compared to they just paid about full rifleman for it. That's not even a full grenadier score there, so that's a pretty good engagement there for Redforce, particularly since he's not the one who has to replace his units. Mortars on the way there for Dreamwork. Gnadenmeth, we got truck on the way there for Oblivion, so it's going to be a battle group headquarters in the timing of it. Opposing up more aggressively. We got tank types going up to help defend the point here. Grenadiers for the section. This section struggling a bit here. Part of them actually sticking out a negative cover, which makes it easier for the Grenadiers to deal with them. Might be here that Tommy isn't paying attention to it. Pioneers sneaking in, more rifle pushing up. These are side to the southern position. We got the MD42 that covering the southern road here of the village. Got rifleman moving ahead there from Redforce straight into the MD42. You can suppress the grenadiers holding up the house here. In the far west, we can see Oblivion's making good progress here, securing a lot of the points here away from Tommy. Very good work there by Oblivion. Grenadiers, pioneers continue to sort of fire out here in the between the two houses. Mortar joining in here for Deutschland, laying down some light artillery support here for the German army and the 21st Panzer Division. Redforce and Tommy there so far not taking up. Oblivion's battle group headquarters going to be reasonably close to the front line, and for Dreamwork we got take up as well. Allies on the other hand, oh there we go, just to say that Redforce pushes for the captains, stewards, pack houses, anti-tank guns, you name it. Also following up there with an ambulance provide immediate medical attention for his men who suffer in the fight against the Krauts. Section flanking up, trying to sort of sneak up behind the German lines there. Sneaky move there by Tommy. Very sneaky move, and they're going to see dislodges whatever position Dreamwork has to the village, claiming it for the Queen and the King, well, mostly the King. Rifleman down there, since the Queen wasn't the Queen yet, that was the King. But he was King George, or was the King Edward? I'm not so much into British royalty, to be honest. Section being pushed back with MD42 there. Rifleman there, cooks it up for a nasty flank here. No grenades though for Redforce that make this a flank. I would say a bit more explosive. Fulton's pushing out here, 3 squads. Mortar fire there in the section. Rifleman up behind the mortar and the machine gun, doing some damage there with M1 Garage, and there you go, forcing Dreamwork to further retreat, throwing him to further disarray. But in this case though, machine gun bunker coming the base here ends up actually protecting quite a bit here, saving Dreamwork from a full retreat here from the southeast. So that would definitely put more pressure on Oblivion, and he's certainly already under a lot of pressure and has to sort of fight back a lot of there. Ambulance being pushed very aggressively towards the front there by Redforce. Bit risky, Looks like he realises he might have made a mistake then. Quickly sends the ambulance elsewhere. You're a goddamn ambulance driver, Carl, not tank driver. Get back into the rear lines, you idiot. And it is there being pushed back with the rifle pioneers pushing forward towards flanking in here, catching Redforce's forces in a bit of a crossfire. They're almost getting wiped there, which might help avenge Dreamwork's rifle grenadiers, but sadly doesn't happen. Lightning infantry going the way there for Oblivion for some artillery support there on top of the mortar there that Dreamwork has unleashed. Few point in the west there being secured by sections and sappers moving up with mines as well to make it harder for the Germans to counteract into it. Very good, very good. Medics up there as well for Oblivion. Grenadiers are reinforcing, setting up medic bunker, and we get a half track on the way here for Dreamwork. That is obviously going to be a flame for a half track to sort of try and burn its way through the allies. Also help to claim the village, and of course just deal a ton of damage. I mean, he could go for an unupgraded half track, but considering the rest of his forces, which basically amount to a single grenadier squad, it seems very unlikely he'd stick with a regular half track in this situation. If he had more infantry, I could see it happening, but with this sort of status there, he's definitely going for a flame for a half track. There's just no way around it. Both few points are in allied hands, so the other one is yet to be secured, fully and connected. Artillery fire raining down there from the lighter infantry shots, bombarding Tommy positions. Flanpanzer one, they're almost good to go there for Dreamwork, and the 21st Panzer Division. Medic bunker on the way there, slowly being upgraded for Dreamwork. No additional infantry, you should definitely consider some additional troops. Panzer Grenadier could be quite useful, and there you go, machine gun caught here in a stream of deadly fire. As the entire thing catches on fire. And we could actually see wipe the machine. Oh, it chooses poorly, and it sets up automatically. He loses the Vickers machine gun. Can Dreamworks take advantage of this and steal it, turning against the Tommy foe? And Tommy there going for the AC Mark III to help counter the flame for a half track, which is so far proven to be quite disastrous for his men's well-being. So far, it seems like Dreamwork isn't either paying attention or caring about it before being swarmed by rifle. He's going to eat the flame for half track over there as soon as he's pushed the sections there away and left everything more or less on fire. Rushes in to deal there with the Yankees. And looks like we got a Stuart light tank out here for Redforce, the M5A1. Ready to blow up some krauts and fill them with holes. Big holes. Dreamwork, they're going for Panzer Grenadier. Flanpanzerwagen sweeping forward here. There you go, catching the rifle squad here, burning it up. Down to half health in a matter of seconds. They've been caught there in 2 AoEs essentially. Stuart rolling out there. Quite a threat there to the flame for half tank, particularly since Dreamwork right now has no counter to the Stuart. He can at most stall it with a Panzerfaust, and that's it. So Dreamwork is in a bit of a sticky situation there, and Oblivion does not have any Raketna to assist with either. So right now, Redforce Stuart light tank for all intents and purposes could just as well be approaching, because Dreamwork's not got the firepower to stop it, and barely anything to slow it down with. Gunning away there, and Grenadiers there. Doesn't give a Panzerfaust, so it just falls back a bit. Doesn't want to risk getting hit with a Pack 40. And there you go, another unit wiped. Dreamwork loses a Pioneer squad. He's having a really bad start here. Just not really gaining any traction. Compared to the Oblivion, is at least doing reasonably better here. Doesn't, I think, help though. Dreamwork again went for a very infantry-like sort of force compensation, making it much easier for the Americans to push through if anything went wrong. Panzer Grenadier there should definitely seek cover. They're way too exposed out in the open. There are way too many shots going off at them. Rifle there being shot at. Pack 4 there on the stand for Dreamwork. Or Traumwerke. Rifle section moving about here. We got bolted sections up there for Tommy, by the way. We got the AC sitting about here in the west. Troops there reinforcing, healing up. MD42 grenadiers doing the counter hold back. Redforce just waltzing straight into the base again. And we got, I think, a Kednev as well here for Oblivion. Yes, indeed. And we got the first option chosen in the first 9 minutes of the game. It is Vanguard Operation. And he chooses Raid Operation to allow him just to seize territory much faster than using his armored car to do so. Clever move there by Tommy. Not a very often seen doctrine, but it is pretty good if you know how to use it. He's got section there, continue to follow away. We've also got grenades up there for Tommy. So it's definitely aiming for a more aggressive strategy there with all the sections, bolting them up, and grenades. Plus raid operation allows Tommy to operate very aggressively, very fluidly against opponent. The right here section might be in a bit of trouble there. We got a large segment of assault rifle equipped infantry just overwhelming them with sheer volume of bullets. Grenade off there, almost taking out entire Fulsker squad. In the west here, Kevin pushing back the AC. So far, the German army and the 21st Panzer Division has found themselves heavily on the defensive. Combined British and American forces are putting some severe pressure on them. And there you go, Tommy finds his forces a bit repulsed there, and Dreamwork is just trying to slowly advance, but the lack of infantry does not particularly make it easy for him. Does not particularly make it easy. Stuart there, veterans who won 2 kills, Mortify continuing to rain down all over the place. Except from the Allies who have yet to go for an Italy. They've got here BARs up for Redforce, so in that sense continue aggressive tactics, though no grenades for Redforce, though would say he's got the resources for it if he wants to. Oblivion by the second player to go for docking these Luftwaffe ground forces, Fallschirmjägers, flak emplacements in theory, smoke reconnaissance, valiant assault and airborne assault. Panzers don't need to fall back, they're being absolutely overwhelmed in a matter of seconds. It would be a shame for Dreamwork to lose another infantry squad inside a house to a lot of angry Americans. And there you go. Folds back very wisely. Flampanzer good to go, no take up there. And nothing further there from Oblivion either. And another plane is they got any resource they need to be able to take advantage of if they did take up. There you go, Flampanzer gaining better 2, burning some Yankees, lighting some on fire. Triple sections moving down there, bolstered and filled with grenades, ready to blow up any crowds as much as looks wrong at them. Even right at them, really. They're just looking for an excuse to blow up some Germans. Fuel cache up here for Redforce. Germans have yet to commit to any fuel cache. Of course, that would be Dreamwork primarily. He's finally going for another Grenadier squad, so he's finally heading up to the 3 minimum infantry squad there. Very good, very good. That's definitely, I think, going to help him a lot. And there goes Stuart, continuing to be a nuisance. 2 kills close to vet 22. Pack 40 is nearby though, so there we go. Shoots, penetrates to the Stuart, does gain vet 22 in the process. Flampanzer around there, rolling rat, spotting an anti-tank, and it swiftly falls behind some hedges there. Gonna need to see. Oh, Pack 40 moves to far ahead there. Might risk being wiped if he's not careful. MD42 carrying far behind. Mortar moving up. And we got Fallschirmjägers out for Oblivion. Looks like being sent in to support his front line here. Or maybe he's trying to call him into a safer spot. Hard to say exactly where they're landing. There you go. Very forward position here by Oblivion. Straight at the machine gun and actually wipes it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Wipes it. Actually securing my second Vickers from the British player. Tommy there. Suddenly found himself very short on machine guns versus the Germans. Well, Oblivion anyways found himself with a plethora of them. Unit wiped here for Redforce. Rifle squad bit the dust and service against the Germans. Nice small tactical victory there for Dreamwork. And the rest of the machine gun being run off by Kevin for running covering fire. And the other Vickers there, which Oblivion secured earlier, is just hammering away there at the Tommies. Oi, we're being fired on by own weapons. Isn't that against the law? Not really, Terrence, not really. Good hit from the Pack 40 in the Stuart. And there you go, grenade on like Kedden Alpha. Almost gets the entire unit. Nice throw there by Tommy. Fair how much level waiting to be set up. And we got another raid tactics there. A raid operation from Tommy there. Artillery being flung in this general direction. Section constantly trying to dodge it, though they are exposed themselves to heavy fire. We could say, what? There we go. Unit annihilated. They did grab the fuel point. Certainly putting the Germans further behind in the resource race. Tech if they're done for Dreamwork. Panzer IV Stu could prove helpful there. Also looks like one of Dreamwork's Grenadier squads, they managed to secure themselves a BAR. Liaisons there with bazookas paratrooper supporting here. So we got airborne for Redforce. Browning light machines away there, so heavy firepower there for Redforce. Being by the way, only Dreamwork as the one with the doctrine to choose here. We shall see what he ends up with. We shall see what he ends up with. His men are being overwhelmed there, and they'll have to fall back soon enough. Flampanzer line pushbacks once more. Dreamwork finds his front line crumbling here under intense Allied pressure. As Oblivion slowly makes advances here. Now being able to leapfrog with machine guns certainly makes him a much more fearsome foe for Tommy to deal with. Plus a machine gun manned by Fallschirmjägers is pretty potent in his own right. Rifle and Pedge being held down by a single MD42, Vetchi 2 closing, Vetchi 3 Stuart being held back by the Pack 40. Needs more extra support here. More Grenadiers out here for Dreamwork. No sign of the support call yet. And there you go. Just continued death here. A continued unending stream of bullets. Keep shooting, Fritz. Keep shooting. We can't have the Allies getting up again or we'll be dead men. In the west here, we got a glider down by way from Tommy, meaning he's got there the air landing officer about as well to give some trouble out to the Germans. Plus the potential for commandos if the glider survives long enough. Which is so far not looking to be the case. Interesting enough, Dreamworks never really make much approach here, which I definitely feel might be a bit of a mistake. Granted, there's a lot of pressure on him, so it's harder for him, but even then, he's clearly just sort of stopped short of it at the same time, so I definitely think he could improve a bit here versus the Allies. Punch goes in with the cannon, mortar goes off, damaging, setting off a mine, damaging the engine with the AC. Bad luck there for Tommy, and of course a good lesson in, you know, not staying closely on bloody mines. Punch are being pushed back, almost wiped out, but they did survive a grenade. The rest of the forces slowly approach here, heading out through the southern end of the village, straight for the British positions. Supported here by Oblivion. And there you go, Flam Panzer going up as well, glider down, glider completely down. Redforce going for the Scots, and while he's taken up, he's not pushing for medium armor, he's actually going for some light artillery there of the self-propelled kind. As for Tom, he has yet to take up, he's yet to push for armor. Oblivion can soon go for a Panther 4, and Dreamwork has yet to go for anything. He could go for the heavy Panther, of course, I suppose. He could just go for the support and begin pushing up for Panthers, but there's just nothing there. In fact, he's taking up, so that's going to be it. Heavy Panther call there for Dreamwork. Panthers and Sturm Panthers, maybe a Panther effort. Troops are pressed here by the MD42. Veteran D3, mortar hammering away there. 7 kills for das Vaterland. MD42 about here. Well, Vickers actually, not an MD42. And mortar's going to have to fall back. Opus being arrived out here and might actually lose it. Too slow there for you. For Dreamwork for the 21st Panzer Division. Pack 40 flying covering fire. Panzer Grenadier advance. Grenadiers bring up there as well with a BAR and now also equipped with an LMG-42. Making sure they have enough firepower to stop the Allies. Pedro was there pushed back. No Panzer 4 yet for Oblivion. Is he planning a Panther instead? And double Scots here for Redforce. A bold and audacious move that we finally got take up here for Tommy. I don't think Redforce should have just aimed for tanks. There you go. Gets the Vickers though. Though the Schwer Panther cores make it difficult for him to get to it. The third one flank proving to of course be rather hostile to British infantry and their continued survival. Right hand side there again, really bearing. We actually got another fuel cache up here for the Allies by the way. Redforce built 2, but again, I do feel like he should be just pushing for Shermans rather than just a ton of Scots. And I definitely feel Dreamwork should be putting more attention into the east side there. Well, it looks like it wasn't a Panther, it was a Panther 4 after all here for Oblivion. As for Dreamwork, we got the heavy Panzer car going up. They're going to secure on the centre victory point. Panzer going to be moving up support. Then we got the Stuart just continuing to be a threat. So the Stuart supported by Scots. That was sort of, I think, the sort of usual formation actually for Scots. They usually sort of meant to support Stuart units, providing artillery support, and both of those were generally used to support infantry. So little fun fact there. Rifleman sneaking in here. Grenadiers, Panzers nearby. Quick fall back there. Flam Panther by still alive here for Dreamwork. Very good work there, maintaining and keeping it alive. Captain there scorched horribly. And there you go. Completely routed here. Tiny chance of wipe, but didn't quite happen there. Sturm Panzer on the way for Dreamwork, so he's not really concerned about armour at all. Though, to be fair, I mean, one of the Allied players, you know, is just going for Scots. There's not necessarily quite a dire need for Panthers right now. They could still try and push for it. The Sturm Panzer 4 was down there for Dreamwerk. It's the 21st Panzer Division. MD42 there, Veteran D3 just laying down murderous farm. We got raid tactics again here from Tommy. He really likes that, and that's great to see by the way. It's definitely underutilised ability, I think, by a lot of Allied players. Almost getting the ace machine gun there, but the pack pushes back the AC. Once more the Dreamworks line collapses, and the mortar's going to have to fall back as well. in the west. Oblivion is maintaining a slightly more advanced line, but even then he's not making awful lot of progress. And we got the Sturmpanzer out here for Dreamwork with a second Pack 40. Dreamwork continues at the turn-in mark to remain the only player not to have chosen a doctrine, which I do feel is a bit of a shame. Sturmpanzer rolling after. The first shot is a bit of a dud. Panzer all flanking, but with limited infantry support, that is none. It's probably not going to make too much progress. Orbital down and ramming here as well for Oblivion, having lost to Fallschirmjägers. And hammer tactics for Tommy there, so looks like he's going to be going for the Comet. Bring out his own more premium medium tanks against the Germans, the Hans, the Jarius. Sturmpanzer rolling ahead on its own. We can see this actually it's more the Allies than on the defensive again. I think part of it's just again the heavy Scott emphasis there. But we can see Redforce is slightly changing its tune now, going for Jacksons as well. They're from the right position. Stewart dodging a shot there from the Sturmpanzer. AC rolling ahead, 6-pounder gun just lying about here in the wreckage of the glider. Panzer continues his hunt for the Stewart, getting off a decent hit, damaging it somewhat. Jackson almost on AC, bouncing a shot there from the Panzer IV, I think. And there he goes, shoots and takes out the ambulance with a 150mm high explosive shell, sending it to Kingdom Come. And we got a doctoral choice here for Dreamwork. It is Jägerarmor. It is Jägerarmor. So we got Luftwaffe, Jägerarmor versus Airborne and Vanguard. Alright, here in Poltava. Grenadier Panzers in the eastwards there. Sturmpanzer just shoot a bit left and right. Panzer IV need repairs. But the German situation certainly looks a bit more stable now against the Allies. Looks a bit more stable. But I'm guessing your Dreamworks goal at some point is going to be an elephant tank, so in which case it really would benefit from fuel cache again. It would benefit Oblivion as well. So I mean, really just fuel cache would be a great choice. Redforce has got the Jackson out, and we got a Comet out here for Tommy, who of course benefits from the fuel caches as well. Sturmpanzer shoots, obviously doesn't really make an impact on the Comet, which just drives right past. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, I didn't notice you, Mr. German assault tank. Because you can't penetrate my armor, you prick. But there you go. Pack 14 then have no issues there. Penetrating at least one shot there through the Comet's frontal armor. In the east, we see Scott stooping up there, bombarding away merrily at any German skirmishers. Threatening the front flank further and actually threatening the Pack 40. See it. Section moving ahead as well. Sturmpanzer pushing in. Pack wipe. That's definitely bad news there for Dreamwork. Definitely bad news. Scott's moving up. Jackson as well there. Section getting blasted. And we got air support called in. This is really bad news here for Dreamwork. It's pretty much right outside his part of the base and where he mostly moves. So that's going to be a no-go zone for him. Plus the Pack 40 there is very much has been left to itself. The other Pack 40 is a bad spot as well. Almost losing the Sturmpanzer here. Casualties piling up for Dreamwork in the west though. You can see there that Oblivion is pushing ahead, running straight to the Comet, and the AC might actually lose the Panzer IV. Looks like it. He almost got immobilized. Oh dear. There we go. Yeah, AC blocks the AC taking hits from Makedonov. We got air support called in this time though from Oblivion. Panzer IV though does not survive. Nonetheless. Counter-attack here from Dreamwork. Panzer going with the Panzer after the AC. Grenadiers supporting here with light machine guns, heavy machine guns, whatever needs to be hauled in. Paratroop there suppressed, more Panzer almost taking out the AC here, leaving Redforce, I think, rather taken aback here as Dreamwork just continued to launch the old assault. There we go. Rockets just flying left and right from the German infantry. But he's about to lose his Panzerjägers, which I definitely don't think would be worth it. Got one Scott though. Ah, this is going to be close. There you go, Panzerjägers wiped, Panzerschreck dropped. With the Pioneer Squad more on the way there for Dreamworks as he keeps closing in here on the Elephant Tank Destroyer. Section on the way there for Tommy to replace some losses he suffered. He certainly suffered losses against the Hun. The Jerrys have taken a toll on the British boys. Stone Punch of the veterans 1-7 kills, receiving repairs. Counter-attack pacing up here for Oblivion. What we'll go for next? Another Panther 4 Panther. Will he try to aim for a King Tiger, though he doesn't have the tech for that fully. Light infantry guns just continue to lay down devastating fire against the British assaults. Grenade lobbed, but not quite successful there. And we can see Redforce, I think, for the time being, is licking his wounds. His armor pool there certainly took quite a beating. A lot of damage, and the loss of one of the Scots there certainly might leave Redforce a bit more cautious. He's still in the end the one with the largest force as soon as he recruits the tanks and tank destroyers. Dreamwork, though, is getting ever slowly closer to the Elephant Heavy Tank Destroyer. He's a couple of minutes off from it, in fact about 2 in terms of fuel, and just needs to set up the man puzzle, in which case he can call in a Schwerer Panzerjäger. Well destroyed here by the Panzerschrecks. And there you go, he's replaced the Scot there, so it's a very particular sort of composition that Redforce actually wants, with double Scots, 1 Stewart and a Jackson. Gonna do dropping a Panzerschreck again. Pack 40 doing what he can here. Being that starting, there you go. Petrol's moving up here, machine gun close being wiped out. Need to retreat it, Dreamwork, need to retreat it. More heavy fire there, Sturmpanzer setting out. Oblivion is going for a Panther here. Panther can find Pack 40 setting up. The Stu's rolling ahead. Sturmpanzer moving in. Sword of. Dreamwork is just not having an easy time here. And there you go. Sturmpanzer shoots. Almost takes out the lieutenant. Almost, but not quite. And there you go. Turns out to bombardment here. Pack 40 providing some sort of support here. Shots bouncing off the Sturmpanzer's 100mm thick armor. Ever slowly closing in on the Elephant. Ever slowly, about a minute and a half or so. Oh well, with the manpower losses and sort of manpower expenditures, it's going to be even more than he's actually lost another unit. Pretty bad there for Dreamwork. Pretty bad. In particular, he's planning for an Elephant. He can't really afford such manpower bleed because he's just going to put his entire economy on hold on at some point. So he needs to be a bit more cautious. But we got the Panther out here for Oblivion, who I feel like could be putting more pressure on the Allies, though he is certainly keeping Tommy the occupied. And the Panther ship providing further support. And we got not just a Comet now here for... Oh, we actually lost the Comet. We got a Crocodile now for Tommy for the 7th Armored Division. Oh, artillery strike that takes out the machine gun and several grenadiers. A horrific loss to Dreamwork. That was some really bad luck. I mean, 3 grenadiers and the veteran 3 MD42, and they just sort of all bunched up there. One horrific pile of death. So nasty blow there to Dreamwork. Well, another one. Nice tip. Sapper spotted and repulsed by Oblivion. Continue fighting up. Here's the Crocodile now proceeds to roll through, I think, Oblivion's front line, and they just lack the firepower to stop the Comet. He's going to eat the Panther to have a chance there. There you go. Wrecking McKenna for the Panther moves in. And straight into the anti-tank and waiting in ambush. Penetrating it. And now you're going to see that immediately Redforce swings out to support his teammate there. Very good, very good. But now we can see here that he's taking advantage of the Dreamwork. He's swinging in, trying to support by pressuring the Allies from the south here. Very good move, very good counter move. Panther roughly half health already. Jackson takes it from the Panther. Panther dodges it. Too far, they're almost wiping out the Pioneers. He is close to the Elephant though, Dreamwork. He is very close. Fire's getting a bit crazy. That Pack 40 opening up. Sturmpanzer moving in, shoots. Takes out the mortar crew. Very good, very good. Bit of blow there to Redforce. Panthers continues, comes out here with Churchill. Another wipe here, this time against Dreamwork, who's down to just 2 Grenadier spots now. No Pioneers. Almost got a Scot there. Sturmpanzer sends the other Scot. There you go. Jackson sneaks in, gets a hit. Closing in eventually 3. And we got more Scots On the way for Redforce. Nothing else but Scots now. Nothing else but Scots. And there we go. We got the Elephant Tank Destroyer here for Dreamwork. Schwerer Panzerjäger. Pretty much no action on the Western Front. It saw a bit of action in Italy, but was primarily used on the Eastern Front, to be honest. Like, you'd be much more likely to see a Yak Panther, which actually pretty much only saw service on the Eastern Front after 1955 February. Before that, it was pretty much only on the Western Front. It's a little fun fact there. Grenadiers falling back here. For now, Sturmpanzer need to repair the cluster vaccine 2. We shall see if this Elephant Tank will turn out the valuable investment here for Dreamwork. Panthers sitting out here fully fixed up there by Oblivion's Pious Pioneers. And another Scot for Redforce. This is definitely starting to seem a bit like an obsession there by Redforce and could prove to be detrimental to him. Oblivion have to see what he aims for next here though. Will it be another Panther, Yak Panzer, King Tiger? Panther is taking critically heavy damage here from the anti-tankers. The Jacksons and whatnot need to fall back rapidly. I do not think that's a loss before. There you go, air support called in as well on top of this by Redforce. P-47 is going to strike down rockets all over the place. Oh dear, Panther's almost taken out, and the Panther goes down. Schwerpanzer Quarters knocks out one of the P-47, but it's just too late. It is too late. Panther is gone. Sturmpanzer dealing with an advanced infantry advance here from Redforce, trying to sneak up behind him. But Dreamwork saw through that and just nuked it. Elephant looking for targets here. Inch enough, he's got Jaeger on, but he's not adding spotting scopes to the Elephant, which would allow it to do a bit more. Rather than everything else, they're just avoiding the Sturmpanzer for now. Now the Pioneer Squad for Dreamwork, he really needs to replace a lot of units there, and he definitely needs to head up back to 3 infantry squads. Sturmpanzer sets out, supporting repair Grenadier squads here. Not really landing a lot of serious hits. There's closing inventory 2 there. Push for the centre of the victory punch wise. The Germans are certainly falling behind. The Allies here falling behind. Triple Scots there with a Jackson in tow. He's going to eat the Elephant there to have a chance. If it can hit. Sturmpanzer the moving head. Note he's upgraded that one with spotting scopes, but inch enough, not the Elephant. There you go. Schützen up on the Sturmpanzer. Oblivion, I'm not entirely sure what he's aiming for. Redforce is certainly a bit of a siphon. We got a Firefly on the way there for Tommy. Allied armor falling back. He might be setting up some sort of flank, I suppose, against the Dreamwork. Might be setting up for something there. Skirmishing in the west, at least a breakthrough attempt by Tommy with the Comet, or Crocodile again. The Comet is long gone, Dane. The Comet is long gone. They haven't replaced it yet. Direct hit here from the 6-pounder gun. Sturmpanzer then down to a slow of health. Need to be careful. There you go. Jackson, veteran feed, veteran too close to veteran feed with the heavy light armor support there from himself with triple Scots there and the Stewart. Sturmpanzer almost taking that dog pack, forcing pushing back the Jackson. And Elephant turns about there, shoots and hits absolutely nothing. Right now, Redforce needs to be careful of his infantry though. He's barely got anything left there. And now he's going for a second Jackson tank. So that's going to be 3 Scots, 2 Jacksons, and a Stewart. That's certainly not usual force composition. Firefly here out now to support the Crocodile and whatnot there for Tommy. Certainly a lot of tank destroyers of the heavier kind this match all of a sudden. Captain opening up the Grenadiers, counter attacking, and the Jackson's almost down there for Redforce in the centre. Oblivion troops are eastward pulsed there by Redforce, who's got a lot of guns sighted on that victory point. He's got a lot of guns. Elephant they're sending out. Grenadiers pack supporting here. Oh, almost got the lieutenant there. Sturmpanzer being worked on. We got another Panther of Oblivion. We'll have to see if this one does a bit better. If we're going to be a bit more careful with it. Does seem like it. Air support of some sort called in there by Tommy, and he's just falling back there. He doesn't take any chances this time around. Elephant hanging back. Sturmpanzer setting out. Panther on the way there for Dreamwork. Panther, good lord. Sturmpanzer setting out there for Dreamwork. Great hit from the Jackson, taking down to half health in a single pair of volleys there. I'm getting the Stuart light tank though, bet you feel there, and Stuart finally goes down by the way there, finally. Dreamwork this down to just one Grenadier squad there, and really should consider replacements to provide proper support for his armoured pool, which is ever slowly growing, unlike his infantry pool, which only seems to be shrinking, to be honest, at the moment. Which only seems to be shrinking. Oblivion here preparing for another attack here, setting up for pushing up for here. He's not really trying to attack for any other pass. Granted, Poltava is a bit more narrow map, so there's not necessarily a lot of attack paths to take anyways. So what will Tommy go for next? Like, he's got the fuel for, say, Comet again. Could of course just go for more Fireflies, but there you go. Panther out to support the Elephant and the Sturmpanzer. The Sugar Fire Sturmpanzer thing about halfway to Veteran 3. Will it get there? Will it get there? That'd certainly be interesting. Moving up, the Elephant to support his teammate. Good, I think, call there with Dreamwork. Considering that's pretty much where all of the Allied armors currently sort of focused. Having the Elephant there ready to blast some Yankee Panthers to bits is, I think, a really strong choice. I'm surprised he's still not bothering with spotting scopes. On the end, there you go. A lot of shots fired there. Elephant bounces some. Getting swarmed there though. Air support called in against it. British air support this time around. Anti-aircraft fire from the Sturmpanzer quarters. Panther, Elephant just down to half health. We can see there the Dreamworks Panthers now following up the eastern side here on its own, but with limited support. Oh, they got Sturmpanzer, but not really any infantry support. Forcing back the ambulance, taking bazooka fire. They could knock out the fuel cache. The continued armoured horde, they just advancing for both our players. Aircraft shot down. The skies are alive with death and destruction. Seeing the pressure, there we go. Mine goes off, taking out the engineer of the Firefly. Yeah, Elephant bows down to up to Vetri 2 now, actually. More mobile with a higher rate of fire. Direct hit on the Firefly. It's almost taken out. They're almost taken out. One more shot, one more shot. Panther decides to go for the kill here and gets it. Panther rolling up here straight past the British lines. Complete chaos and havoc now reigns in the Allies as they're being fully routed here from the battlefield. Both Panthers going for the Veteran 3 AEC. Redforce's armor pool though seems mostly intact. They need repairs. And Stuka bomb strike takes out the 6-pounder gun and the AEC, catching Tommy there completely off guard. And there you go, trying to take out the Communist or Churchill as it's being repaired. Both Panthers are heavily damaged. Sturmpanzer clearing out everything on the eastern side, not grabbing the fuel point there though. And here we got sections trying to sneak up behind Dreamwork. And now we get air support from Redforce to try and break up the German armor that way. He might actually get the Panther. There you go. Crocodile down. Panther though is also down. This is certainly a bit of a hefty 2 versus 2 right here in Poltava. What a hefty 2 versus 2. Sturmpanzer is very close to actually Fleet Elephant. There's some time off there, but could still hit it if things keep up like they have. And now we got Redforce charging it with his Veteran 3. Jackson gets the Panther, but it's only abandoned, and the Elephant, I think, just knocks it out there. But I mean, he definitely needs more careful with his Panthers there. He does seem to be Playing them a bit riskily without necessarily the skill to pull it off, like say Caster. But seems like in this case Dreamwork was able to pick up the slack there with the Elephant. Sturm Panzer there, 25 kills, just tearing through the Allied infantry. Dreamwork floating a ton of manpower, really should consider more troops though. Really should consider it. More Grenadiers and Panzer, I think would pay off quite nicely for him. And there you go, more Panzer Grenadier there for Dreamwork. Finally. Panzer off off then the Scot. Victory points was 120 though versus the Allies 400 victory points. And there you go, Firefly out for Tommy. Another tank destroyer, no comets. Ooh, nice hit there from the Sturmpanzer. More targets, more death. That Sturmpanzer is very close now to reaching fleet. No, well, it's called the Brummbau. That was actually an Allied designation. The Germans called it the Sturmpanzer, or they called it the Stupa. That was then a sort of nickname for it, the Stupa. No fun fact there. And you sort of read any sort of memoirs from German officers, and they talk about, they refer to it as the Stupa. So that's a little fun note there. Little fun note for those not awares. And east of the Scots bringing up, supported here by the Firefly. Allied armour pool has certainly seen some heavy losses now. Machine gun there getting bombarded by the Sturmpanzer. Ace level, by the way. Ace level now. Absolutely devastating there for Allied infantry due to its high rate of fire and mobility. But there you go. Firefly moves in. Sturmpanzer shoots back. Elephant knows nearby. And the tank and what needs to pull back in with the Sturmpanzer. Can't afford to lose that, I think, right now, Dreamworks. 4-6, you can also go for another Panther now if he wants to, though mate, he's a bit more preoccupied with what's happening in the front line. Almost losing his Sturmpanzer there to the Firefly, but looks like he gets away. Looks like he got a nice flank here from Oblivion, getting behind Tommy's infantry. His Panther boy back in action, pursuing here the Firefly. Some aggressive action here, some aggressive action. Push back from the centre here, this Elephant falls back. For now, Sturmpanzer falling in further back, and another Sturmpanzer for Dreamworks to blast his way through the Allied lines. But Dreamwork there's lost his Grenadier squad back to just one Panzer Grenadier squad. Packs being wiped, bunker going up, that's about to get destroyed here by all of the Allied firepower. 120 versus 326. Bunker lost very rapidly there. Not necessarily the best position there by Dreamwork, to be honest. Elephant back in action. He's still not upgrading with spotting scopes. Really, you'd think he'd do that, but he just doesn't. Which actually seems a bit weird to me. Seems a bit weird to me. Needs the punches are pushing back. The major successfully Sturmpanzer number 2 down for Dreamwork. Panther fighting ferociously on the western side here with nary any infantry support at the moment. And back here, Scots need repairs. Now the Jacks on the way there for Redforce, having lost his previous Jacksons. No additional armour there from Oblivion. No additional Panthers or attempts to... Oh, wait, they might be going for the King Tiger. They've got a mechanised regiment up, so I think a King Tiger is very likely here in the next goal for Oblivion to work with the Elephant. Tommy there going for a Cromwell here. Firefly halfway to Betsy 2. Push through here, focusing on this Orbison on Academy. It's all just one big push there from Oblivion. Grenades are being locked back. Almost taking out the Orbison squad, and there you go. The two from Redforce of Scots certainly help a bit as well there. Now Jackson on the way. Armour here from Dreamwork pushing up through the main road here of the village. Sturmpanzer bombarding here, trying to take out the anti-tank guns. Shots bound to just miss. There you go. One pack wipe. Good work there by Dreamwork. Unit wiped out here by German firepower. In this case, a Scot. There you go, Sturmpanzer sending it forward again. Getting shot at by the anti-tank and Jackson nearby. Second Sturmpanzer moving in. Elephant shoots though. Penetrates east of the armor of the Jackson. Good hit there from the other one. He's actually very close to the 53 in the Elephant. Now it would be interesting to see one. Comet instead of the Cromwell there for Tommy. Elephant moves up here. Firefly under fire from it. Very close to 53 on the Elephant. Very, very close. He might like to get it. And just misses the Firefly. Just barely misses. Allowing it to get away easily. More shots fired there though. And we got the King Tiger thing out there for Oblivion. Königstig. Nope, it's a second Panther. No King Tiger for him, just more Panthers. Elephant there goes for it. Very, very good close to the 53. Elephant shot. Oh. Elephant bounces the Firefly shot there. Another unit wiped there for Dreamwork. Trying to flank here. Sturmpanzer nearby. Tries to catch. It doesn't quite work out. Comet moving in here. Penetrating hit it through the front line of the Elephant. And there we go. Firefly downing on the Comet now. Elephant blocks the route there so he can't flank. There you go. Pack opening up. Ooh, this is going to get close. Panther supporting. Sturmpanzer supporting. Shot. Bounce. Smoke going down. There we go. We can see the Oblivion's quick support here. And there we go. Veteran 3 on the Elephant tank destroyer. Veteran 3. So he's got a Veteran 3 Sturmpanzer and a Veteran 3 Elephant, losing its remaining infantry squad just down to Pioneers now. That is quite heavy. In the meanwhile, Oblivion sends his Panther then the further on the route here, trying to sneak up behind the Allied lines. So there's quickly rebuffed here by Redforce, who's just enough strength to force back the Panther. Sturmpanzer sending out, Elephant slowly rolling out again. Spotting scopes finally on the way for it. Looks like he realised, oh wait, I can add spotting scopes to that one as well. Finally realised he could do that. Not looking good there for the Allies. Heavy losses, heavy losses. There he comes out there from Dreamwork again. Panther hanging about here waiting for the second Panther. No infantry support here though from Oblivion's infantry, or Dreamwork for that matter. Push for the centre here with Orbital done. Sturmpanzer just barreling their way through Tommy's lines, and for that matter Redforce, whatever remains of them. Oof, almost got it off here. Same Sturmpanzer opening up as well. Elephant continue to cover the southern flank here. Troops repulsed. Shot bounced there off the Elephant's mighty armour. Double Jackson's back here though for Redforce, just down to the double Scots though. Panther moves in. Panthers, in fact, and there almost getting the Jackson in one go there. Elephant moving in as well now. Redforce heavily in the defense, and there you go. Jackson down, leaving only one tank destroyer now to stop the German armoured Panzerwaffe. Sturmpanzer with 54 kills there. 56! Crazy fight here, crazy fight. Four kills on the Elephant. 1 infantry, 3 vehicles. 57 kills. More punch guns there for Dreamworks. He's flooding on manpower now. Panthers falling back to repairs for now here, and we got another airborne assault here. Sturmpanzer versus the Jackson. Elephant not quite fast enough to support. And we are seeing here Cromwell again attempted here by Tommy. A Cromwell attempted again. To the fire, there we go, taking out the Pack 40 and destroying it entirely. Quickly advancing there, his mighty armoured pool. Captain standing away. Unit wiped and mortar obliterated by the Sturmpanzer. 65 kills! Scott down to the elephant. Units then being bombarded inside the base, and there you go. We got to leave, and with that the game goes on. I mean, the fight goes on for a few more minutes, but there's not really much point in it once a player leaves. I mean, it's pretty much GG here. The German wins. The Germans win here with a 70 kills V-73 Sturmpanzer for a V-73 Elephant Tank Destroyer. Definitely a bit of rarity here. Quite brutal slug out on Poltava with lots of heavy armour from both sides. So I really think part of Redforce's decision just to commit so many Scots without necessarily any sort of real medium armour, I think it sort of really cost them the game there, because, like, sure, initially it had a nice impact, but the problem was the Germans kept getting more and more armour. The Scots just, you know, weren't quite helpful, and the Jackson became too easily singled out, in particular once the Elephant Tank Destroyer arrived. So he basically lacked something to which to swarm and overwhelm it. That's also an extent the issue there for Tommy there. So there's some issues there for the Allies. The game went on. They struggled to preserve their armour. They struggled to build up force. They also struggled to flank. And the Germans, well, they're happy to take advantage of that with their Panthers. More importantly, the Elephant Tank Destroyer dealing a ton of damage, knocking out a lot of Allied armour. So there you go. A very brutal 2 versus 2 right here in Poltava. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay of your own part and feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. See you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.